So how's it going, guys? I figured I'd put together a list of my top 5 YouTubers. I'm going to give some honorable mentions as well in this video. But these are YouTubers that I watch on a regular basis. I always make sure I click their videos. To start off the bat, this is mostly for people who just pretty much are known for YouTube. They don't have a separate thing. So, you guys know that I listen to, like, Vince Russo a lot, but he's mostly on the Realm Network. What you see on this YouTube channel are just some extra things. He's primarily on Realm. I'm not going to count him really here on the list. If anything, consider him to be an honorable mention, but he would be very high up on this list. But they're in no particular order, really. So we're going to start from, we'll work our way back. So at number 5, Some Call Me Johnny. Most of these are gaming channels. So, pretty much I'll be perfectly honest. I watch a lot of politics on here, but those are like reposts from other things. And I said they're not primarily on YouTube. So it's usually like I'm watching politics, gaming, or something probably about wrestling. But that's mostly, like I said, on Realm. Once in a while, I'll click on a What Culture video. Which I disagree with anyway, or if Wrestling Regret does like a little, one of his main videos, I will watch it. When he does like those documentary pieces, I'll probably check those out. So anyway, number 5, Some Call Me Johnny. This guy is, he's excellent at what he does. He has the Johnny Versus series where he's done like hundreds of videos already in this series where he's covered, the Mario games he started out with. He's done Zelda, Sonic. Sometimes he'll stop and he'll go back and he does marathons. He's done like all the Mega Man games. And he talks and he gives good in-depth reviews. I mean, this is pretty much, for gaming what anybody could really aspire to be. That's not an AVGN. I mean, this is very well done. There's some light comedy, but for the most part, it's pretty serious. He's a very laid-back and fun guy. And I enjoy his style. Just straight up reviews, really. No other real BS and everything. And he puts together a pretty lengthy presentation on some videos. He has a Sonic 06 review that's 50 minutes long. And I've actually watched all 50 minutes. I mean, that's how good he is. I mean, he does a good job of explaining the game, making it fun, giving his opinions, ranting on it. And all his reviews are really fair, and I mean they're all a good time. And I gotta say, I've like watched pretty much all his reviews, which is really saying something. And number 4, Proto Mario. This, like I said, is in no particular order really. But this guy does a lot of be news. He has a good sense of humor. He dresses up in his videos. He has like goofy outfits and shit. He'll be wearing like sunglasses, or he'll be wearing like a shark's head in one video. And he does these things really good, the Pokemon theories, which I think are better put together theories than the Game Theorist. The Game Theorist is just an annoying fucking prick. I just got to be perfectly honest with you. Somebody turned me on to the Game Theorist, and I was watching him for a while, but those videos are just ridiculous. He'll, like, say something like a patch of grass in the game means that, this means that they already knew about this sequel fucking 5 games ago. Like, it's just ridiculous shit. He's very, very clickbaity. I don't like the Game Theorist. I don't like the way how he operates, and I've learned a little bit about him as a guy, and he's not really such a great YouTuber, so I don't really want to support him. But Pro Mario is kind of like the exact opposite. This guy mostly operates on theories when he's not reporting on gaming news, and it generally makes it pretty fun. He centers a lot on Pokemon, which is one of my favorite gaming series. So I do like to watch him a lot. And he has some very interesting theories, and they're well presented and well put together and well edited, and he takes a lot of time with them. Definitely appreciate what he brings to the table. Number 3, Boogie2988. This guy puts it all out there. There's a lot of people that make fun of him because he was very overweight. He still is overweight, but he's gotten a surgery, and he's lost a lot of weight. And watching this guy, I mean, he's a genuine guy. You know, I do disagree with him, like on politics and stuff, and a little bit of his worldview. But he does seem like a guy that does want to do the right thing. His head's in the right place. He's had like a lot of struggles, and I like that he's a transparent figure on here. He really is. He tries to really like connect with his subscribers. He doesn't look like he's there to just, you know, be an e-bagger or just really be out there to get sympathy. He's just out there to tell a story for all to listen. His Francis videos are really entertaining. That's like, I think like a lot of people, that's how I found him, the Mountain Dew video. And what I did was I found out, you know, I saw it through like a repost, I believe. So I said, like, you know, who is this guy? Is he all about this? And then I realized he was a lot more than that. And he does gaming videos. He's primarily a gamer. He streams on Twitch and stuff. He does Let's Plays. He has a separate channel for that. But really the videos I enjoy most from him are the ones, his rambling series, it's called. And he just kind of talks about himself. He talked about his surgery. He talks about his medical problems. And, you know, even though I can't relate on that plane, you know, about like the health issues, and I've never been overweight, you know, obviously, because you guys have seen me here for quite a few years here on YouTube, the long-time subscribers of mine. But, you know, I do appreciate the transparency. And, you know, when he does the videos, like I'm saying, I look at the guy's eyes. I could see just the way how he talks. It's genuine. It's heartfelt. And I appreciate him. And I'm saying sometimes that's what's great about YouTube. You can connect to these people who you wouldn't even normally know, and you listen to them and their life stories. And, you know, you appreciate what they bring, you know. And I think he brings a lot of emotion. And just, he makes me want to watch him. And that's all I could, you know, really expect that of somebody. I mean, if you can just get me to watch you, sometimes it's just about likability is what it is. Maybe even if the content doesn't really have a whole lot of substance and we're not exactly changing lives. I mean, the guy does seem like he wants to make a genuine change, and he wants, you know, he wants people to mostly get along, and he expects, you know, good out of people, and he tries to see the positives out of situations. And I appreciate that about the guy. And number 2, Console Wars. Oh, God, this is such an underrated fucking channel. These guys, obviously, they're inspired by AVGN, but they are not copycats in the least bit. These guys write some really good skits. People who don't like cursing on their channel, like AVGN, there's no cursing in it. They don't use any foul language at all. Once in a while, there's a sexual innuendo. Well, they do that on time to time, but there's no bad language in it, which is kind of impressive to me. Like I said, you obviously know how I am on this channel. I'm not opposed to bad or foul language or making cruel jokes or anything like that. But I find it very impressive that they're able to do that, and they don't have to, like, you know, they wanted to do like kind of like a censored version of AVGN. They kind of accomplished that, but they really aren't. What they do in each video, and it's a common theme, is they will put a Super Nintendo game up against a Sega Genesis game, and they will compare the two based on graphics, gameplay, sound. And they do a really good job, and like they'll cut in little skits. You know, they did like a Street Fighter episode. You know, and they had people dressing up as the Honda and everything. I thought that was really funny. They do a lot of things. They did a video on Home Alone. You know, we're also like, you know, they're trying to stop a burglar in their house. They really make a really funny, entertaining video. And they do a good job, and it's something that I don't really see anybody else doing like that, where they're really just comparing two games. And I mentioned them when I found their channel, which was like way back in like late 2013, like early 2014, from what I remember. And the thing about that is, like I was saying, they deserved more subscribers at that time, and they had like 3K. They've moved up to like 23K or something like that, but they've stayed stagnant at that level. I mean, these are guys that, honestly, they deserve to at least have 1 million subs. They put a lot of time and effort into editing these videos up, organizing these skits, getting their friends to dress up and participate in their videos. I think that they really should be at a higher echelon here on YouTube, but they're not, and I don't know what that is. Once again, it's got to be the algorithms, because if anybody gets a load of this channel, honestly, guys, like, go watch them. That you're going to be, like, astounded at how good their production values are, and how they're not really at a higher subscriber count. I think that is truly criminal. That they have not gotten noticed, and they pour so much effort into these videos. Like I said, I've seen more effort really in these videos than anybody I've mentioned so far. I mean, Some Call Me Johnny puts a lot of effort into doing his videos as well, but Console Wars really fucking, like, jacks it up to a whole nother level. They're not doing so much special effects, but they edit things together and they're making a whole presentation. It's like a comedy show at the same time. And at number one, I'm sorry guys, this is going to seem a bit samey, but I got to go with AVGN. After watching AVGN's review of Earthbound, I just was like re-solidified at why I love this guy so much. And when I found his channel back in 2008, it was a match made in heaven. I mean, you could say what you want about this guy. You could say that, you know, the donations, he became an e-beggar for, you know, when he wanted to make his movie and stuff like that. And the whole thing about the Cheetah Men, you know, you could get into it about it. But whatever it is, I'm not focusing on him as a person. I don't, first of all, I think that, you know, whatever he did, there's no excuse about that. But I think he is definitely genuinely a better person than the Game Theorist. I think the Game Theorist is just a guy there who's basically a swindler. He's a clickbaiter. I don't like him. AVGN, I don't know what it is. I find it hard to be mad at the guy. Whatever that may be, you know, I like to call people out here on YouTube and stuff when it's justly due, and maybe I'm a little bit hypocritical in that front, but the guy seriously entertains me. And okay, now I will admit that I watch a lot of his reviews, and even though he still entertains me, I mean, the guy is definitely hasn't put together as good of reviews as he did. I mean, you go back and you watch, like, his Batman reviews. That two-parter he had where Mike Matei dressed up as the Joker. I go back and I watch that review every once in a while, and it is so fucking funny to me, especially when he starts spazzing out over Batman Forever. I really have not seen a moment like that from the AVGN in quite some time. He still puts together very high production reviews and everything, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like he's kind of, I see more of him than the nerd in a lot of videos. He hasn't really raged in a long time. And I don't know what that is. I mean, maybe it's him having 2 kids now and a wife, and since he's really settled down, he's become calmer. And, you know, maybe he just doesn't have that same, you know, angst in him as he once did. You know, it is like a great reflection on the person. Sometimes you just, like, don't have it in you, I guess, like, to scream. I mean, like I said, like, I've even noticed it even to, I don't knock him at all. I've even noticed it to me up to a point where, you know, I look back on some of my old reviews, and some of them, you know, I enjoyed a little bit more, but, you know, I would be, like, screaming at the top of my lungs a lot of times. And you know, I still do that on occasion, but when it's called for. But I decide in a lot of ways, like, opinions change and everything, and I figured that, like, you know, just, I stopped, like, caring a lot of times, like, about wrestling and shit. So, you know, that kind of transcended that all the screaming and yelling a lot of times, and I think that's why I really couldn't scream and yell like a maniac a lot of times, because it's like I just stopped caring. It wasn't that much to be upset about. I still found a way how to be funny and entertaining on this channel, but I didn't necessarily have to scream and yell my lungs out every 2 seconds. I kind of found the balance. I know some people complained about that, but for the most part now, I think most people have kind of really come to accept that, you know, I just kind of found a niche here where I could sometimes do the yelling and sometimes just analyze wrestling and just still, you know, kind of still be entertaining on here and just kind of switch it up and change it up to a point. So I kind of get why AVGN doesn't really scream and yell every 2 seconds like he used to, because he's just kind of changed as a person. Like I said, I've gotten older, he's gotten older, he's had kids, I haven't had kids, but I'm just saying, you know, people just change and everything. And he's changed too. So, you know, like all these people, they all flood onto his videos and they say he wasn't as good as he used to be. It's not that, it's just, you know, he just has like a different style now. But like I watched the Earthbound review, and the way how he analyzes certain games, and I think he's gotten actually better at that, like actually analyzing the game that he's looking at. I know there's probably a lot of other people that do that, but the way how he analyzed Earthbound, that was like one of his longest reviews. It was like 40 minutes long. I think he did a really good job of like analyzing the end and the plot of Earthbound. So, you know, like I said, that re-solidified how I felt about him as a YouTuber and as a content creator. And I say he really is the best. I mean, the reason why I'm also putting him at the top is there wouldn't be any other channels like this. Like, you would not have a Some Call Me Johnny, and you wouldn't have a Console Wars. You wouldn't have any of these guys here because they just wouldn't exist without AVGN. You have some of them that just straight out come out and say that I'm inspired by him, and that's who made me want to make videos. So you can't really just come out and say that that he didn't inspire these people, and that he's not the biggest, because when everybody is saying that they are making videos because of him, that, I mean, it just kind of speaks for itself. So he definitely deserves the #1. A few honorable mentions here. I just found out about him recently from Proto Mario Back Pocket Game Reviews. This is a really down-to-earth guy. He's also like he's mostly gaming. He's a former GameStop employee. He tells these stories about when he used to work there, and I'll just say the guy is really a genuine person. Also, I believe one of his kids has autism, so he's like an activist for that. So I mean, he's trying to do like some genuinely good stuff there. So I admire him for that. And yeah, I mean, like, just go check him out. Basically, he just, you know, he tells stories about his life. He does some rants about different topics. He does some game reviews, but that doesn't really seem like that's the niche on his channel. Most of his views come from his GameStop stories or when he rants on something. And I think that's really kind of what he's best at. I mean, he connects with his audience. He's a genuine guy. And that's kind of what he brings to YouTube. He just has that sense of connecting with people just by being a regular guy. So sometimes you see these YouTubers and they got this like larger than life personality, and they kind of seem domineering, and you're kind of like, oh, I can never be like that guy. This guy just kind of talks to you, and you know, he doesn't seem like a jerk or like he's better than everybody else like some YouTubers. And you know, make that connection. And like I said, that's what's the great thing. It's like somebody you'd want to be friends with in real life, and he does that here. And I'm making one more honorable mention. Top Hat Gaming Man. This guy's actually a wrestler, believe it or not, which I thought was hysterical. He's from the UK. Yes, he sometimes does take shots at the US, which, you know, is annoying, but he's doing a character for the most part. And what he does is he does a lot of rants, he does documentaries, he puts other YouTubers on his channel. But his character is what really gets him over. I mean, he makes like he's like a snob. He has all these retro games, and he makes like, you know, he's better than everybody else. And I love it because he pisses off a lot of people. And they fail to realize, because he doesn't really put it out there that much, that he actually is a wrestler and that he is portraying a character on this channel. So I thought that was funny how he fused those two things together. and so he can make like one big character basically. He already had this character prior to his channel, and he brought it onto YouTube. And I saw like people getting angry in his comments. He also does a lot of controversial videos that people try to say are clickbait. But if you actually watch the videos, you can kind of see where he's coming from, and he brings up a lot of interesting points. Like one thing where a lot of people got mad at him, where he says the Xbox ruined gaming, PlayStation 2 ruined gaming, and he talks about the Wii being underrated. You know, I even made a video in here a while back, like back in 2010, where I said the Wii sucks. And there I am actually recording footage off of my Wii for my Gale of Darkness review 8 years later. So that really says something about, you know, how much do I really think that it sucks. I mean, you know. So, but it's interesting when you put it into context. The titles piss people off. They obviously don't watch a review, but he's an entertaining guy. So there you go, guys. I hope that I helped you find some new YouTubers. I know, obviously, everybody on this, out of everybody on this list, I think almost everybody watching this video knows who the AVGN is. But, I mean, I've been surprised before. I've talked to people actually off of YouTube, and they don't know who the Angry Video Game Nerd is, which sometimes is a bit jarring to me. But, I mean, you know, he's not the biggest YouTuber of all time. Like it says, he's nowhere even close to PewDiePie. So some people have surpassed him, but in a lot of ways, I mean, I think when it comes to raging on YouTube and stuff like that, I think that even maybe PewDiePie might have even taken some notes from AVGN. So, but I think a lot of these others, you know, you probably might have not heard of them. So hopefully, you know, I've helped you find some new favorites here. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.